Daniel made his way down a dimly lit alleyway, accompanied by some strange hissing noises, and the odd buzzes emanating from the neon signs used to indicate places of interest. He held the scrunched up paper in a tight fist, being sure not to accidentally drop it in the wet pavement beneath him. He was rather strangely dressed for a ballet recital, so it was lucky that he wasn't going to a ballet recital. He was going to a nearby Blatonian tavern to use its facilities. After relieving himself, he had hoped to post his paper on the notice board to gather the attention and hopefully the recruitment of avid space travelers willing to go on a long and difficult space trek. Daniel had reached the tavern and looked up toward the neon sign as its flickering letters read Blavin, a fun play on words to Blatonian and tavern. Although no one got what is meant by the word tavern, Daniel swung the full-sized door open and stepped into a musty abode. All different sizes and shapes of alien found their way to this place somehow, and each had their own unique way of being gross, disgusting, or downright rude. There was the gangwash from the first rotation of the upside-down triangle persuasion, who would leave trails of broken glass wherever they go. The Tananaban, an alien race that would continuously breathe in through their nostrils without exhaling, ever. And the worst of all, the Maurice, a race of bird-like bipedal aliens who would only ever use emojis while texting. Daniel remembers that he once had a Maurice girlfriend that had broken up with him through the use of a poop emoji and an unhappy face. During his surveying of the patronage of the Blavin, Daniel saw the laboratories, which he so desperately needed, but also saw something that made his blood curdle. Occupied. Daniel jerked away in an awkward motion so that no one saw that he was trying to cross his legs in order to prolong the inevitable. He looked toward the entrance and saw the notice board badly hung up next to the door. Daniel slowly waddled toward the board and gently hung up his note. It read, "Wanted. Brave explorers and travelers wanted for a dangerous mission. Promising big payoff on successful resolution. Destination, Moon." Although Daniel had no intention to pay people for their services, he found it was easier to tell them that they might get paid rather than putting up unpaid internship. Daniel had hoped of going to the moon, a place where people dared to go after the tragic destruction of Earth 1, after what has been speculated was a Grosjeanite warning shot in the form of an industrial-grade laser missile that was fired from the Third Fleet of the Grosjeanite Planet Peacekeeping Organization, as they tried to scare off the incoming invasion of the Morgs. Unfortunately, the Grosjeanites did not realize the implications that firing an industrial-grade laser missile in the middle of space would have. Because of their unsightly blunder, and due to Newton's first law, that missile continued its trajectory, narrowly missing many planets from the dwarf system Nebula 75-Z0, and finding itself in a small pet shop in Lund, a small town somewhere in Sweden, thus completely wiping out the entirety of Earth in a matter of 1.4 days, and also abruptly ending the 12-day sale of budget budgies that the pet shop had on at the time, a misfortune for many young Swedish children at the time. Either that, or Earth 1 accidentally blew itself up trying to prove the existence of the Big Bang Theory, which, given its ripe history of stupidity and shortcomings, is not too far-fetched.
Why the moon?
Asked a Blatonian that had made his way over to the notice board during Daniel's inner monologue.
Last I heard, there ain't nothing there except the dust and some strange rag flapping on a stick.
Daniel took a glance at a towering Blatonian whose quizzical gaze ushered toward the poster that Daniel had tacked onto the Blavin's notice board. "I think I left my jacket there," Daniel answered. It was a lie, of course. He wasn't going to go blabbing to everyone that there was something special there. Ironically, he had heard of this mystic remnant from a rather loose-lipped, booze-fooled Zeraniel. He had heard from this delightfully drunken Zeraniel that he was on some kind of mission with an old friend toward the big grey lump of space rock. Daniel reminisced on that strange encounter.
Hey,
The Zeraniel blathered to all the men sitting at the bar.
drinks are on me. I got the best thing. None of you can guess. Hey.
At this point, the Zeraniel rudely pulled Daniel close to him, while individually pointing to the other patrons.
I'm rich as a space butterfly. I'm a rich.
The Zeraniel continued. At this point, the unruly bar customer turned to Daniel to continue the increasingly dilapidated conversation in what the Zerulean deemed to be whispering, but was actually just as loud as he was talking before.
I'll tell you, 'cause you are my friend.
Daniel was trying to break free, but the suction cups that made up the Zeraniel's forehead held him securely at bay.
Treasure on the moon. The old moon. Treasure. Woo. Big treasure. Old treasure. Oh, special treasure. Grozenites think they gon' get there first. Wrong. We will be the ones to get the treasure.
Daniel managed to get free from the Zeraniel's forehead, and ended up being quite infatuated with what he said. So he did a bit of digging. Daniel found out the validity of the Zeraniel's statement by looking on SpickyLeaks, the Cosmo website, the whistle-blowing race of aliens known as Spicnauts started. He found that the Grozionite Planet Peacekeeping Organization was indeed planning on detouring a routine inspection crew toward the moon. He thought that he might want to check this out, since he had nothing better to do till next Thursday afternoon, when his space dental appointment was. He had a couple of days till then. Daniel was ripped out of concentration as he realized that he still really needed to relieve himself. Looking once more to the lavatories, he saw that it was now vacant. Daniel breathed a big sigh and made his way to the restroom, which held long-awaited relief. Thank you very much for listening to the first chapter in what hopes to be a long and grueling story of the epic Daniel, a space explorer in search of something special, mysterious. Perhaps he's looking just for a friend, or maybe he's looking to rescue a damsel in distress. Maybe he will come across foes. Maybe he will come across his arch nemesis. Who knows? To find out, stay tuned for the next episodes of The Great, the Awesome, the Epic Daniel. Thank you for listening.